Hey, what's up everyone? So on the release date of the definitive edition of Killer Instinct, the game has additional content for all Killer Instinct fans. This is Shadow Lords. Now, Shadow Lords has been hyped since March 2016, ever since Season 3 got its first trailer. So how can I describe Shadow Lords? In a way, it's kind of like a RPG, turn-based, fighting style story mode involving the invasion of Gargus and his hero's Omen. In a way, it kind of plays like those fighting mobile games, for example the Mortal Kombat X mobile game. For the most part, Aria and Ultratech has established an alliance with all characters in Killer Instinct. The story starts with Jago confronting Gargus in the astral plane. It turns out Jago was deceived and Gargus was toying with Jago. Kim sees a defeated Jago and aids him. The alliance teams up with Conra. Conra is basically your merchant for the materials that will help you in the game. The first time you play Shadow Lords, your default team will be Jago and Kim. You will go through a tutorial as well, and you can manage to have a third person to join the 3-man team to take down Gargus. While progressing, you will fight a non-mimic character as a challenge and they will prompt to join your team. So in case you suck with one of the characters, this is a way to replace someone from your team, because going forward you will have to stick with this team. In the Emporium, you could get some packs depending on how much the total of the Astral Gems are. If you have KI Gold, you could use that too. The KI Gold is basically your microtransactions of Killer Instinct, and honestly, in my opinion, I never used the KI Gold. It's really easy to grind out the Astral Gems by defeating mimics, completing quests, or just doing Shadow Lord's daily challenges. But just in case you don't have enough, you could buy KI Gold by using real life money in the Emporium. Like I said, I feel it's unnecessary to do it when it's easy to grind the Astral Gems in my opinion. This is also a great way to level up any character that you want to unlock colors and costume accessories. I'm almost maxing out Riptor real quick, and she started as a level 10, because I rarely play as Riptor. Now Riptor is nearly a 50. I highly recommend grinding it out. There's different kinds of packs like health packs in case you need a heal. Every once in a while we get a rare pack that shows up in the blue moon. There's a killer, epic, rare, and common pack that will grant you a variation of guardians depending on which one you get. There's also a loot pack which grant you a skeleton key and 2 to 5 consumables and artifacts. When you collect different items in the Shadow Lords, you could craft many materials that can be equipped to your characters or use it as a consumable. Aside from the items that you could use in the game, you could also use these guardians to help you against the war on Gargus. Each guardian has a special ability. One can grant you the ability to parry your opponent. This is the Scorpion Guardian, which is called the Exemplar. You could even poison your opponent by performing an Ender with the ability of the Snake Guardian. Another Guardian gives you layers of armor similar to characters like Glacius, Argonos, and Gargus. This is called the Fracture Ward. Another Guardian gives you easy access to combo break called Cycle Breakers. This is the Ram Guardian. The last Guardian, at least for now, can help you gain health by attacking them with an Ender. This is the Vampire Bat. Now there's more Guardians, but they either haven't come out yet or I haven't got them yet. So yes, there will be future updates for the Guardians. There's also an amount of time when you could use the Guardians, mainly because they get tired, so you have to feed them with Astral Energy. The next thing to mention is stuff you unlock in the archives. By simply playing as any character or doing their side missions, you will either unlock content like the origins of that character, or even a cutscene from the events of Shadow Lords. Shadow Lords has high replayability to this, so don't think after you beat Gargus once, that's it. Oh no. Once you make your way to the war room, you travel all over the world and fight these mimics. The mimics are green clones of characters of KI. If you defeat the mimics, corruption in the continents will cease. If you get defeated or skip your turn, corruption will rise on the continent. Oh yeah, might as well talk about corruption. So this is how Shadow Lords work. There's a bar graph with 5 continents listed. There's a waypoint with 5 omens on them. Depending on your actions, corruption will either rise or decrease. If corruption reaches in the halfway point, you will have to fight a omen. There's so far 4 omens that have a part of Gargus to aid them. For example, there's the Heart of Gargus, which grants the ability to regain health. the Ire Gargus, which grants the ability to parry, and so on. If you defeat Omen, you remove that buff and will make the fight against Gargus easier. However, if you fail to defeat Omen, not only will the corruption increase, but Gargus will have that buff and the difficulty will increase against him. You could choose fight Omen with the buff or skip it. But remember, once 3 continents get completely corrupted, Gargus will arrive. I should also mention that some fights have an easy deploy, meaning you don't have to actually fight the opponent, but you can summon your character to fight. The deploy success will appear as you make your selection, and equipping consumables and guardians will increase your victory percentage. However, it's not guaranteed. You could succeed or you could fail. Also, if you deploy, you will gain less rewards. I also forgot to mention that your characters could heal 50% if you skip a turn. The fight against Gargus will vary depending on what remaining buff he has. Not to mention, he plays very aggressive, and he could summon both minions at the same time. He could also take advantage of his instinct. If you take him down with at least half his instinct intact, he will resurrect. Very similar to Gil from Street Fighter 3.
Resurrection!
However, I believe he can only do this once per opponent.
Resurrection! Resurrection!
The odds could be in your favor, or they could be against you depending on how you look at it. An advantage is that the fight is 3 against 1 when it comes against Gargus. However, a huge disadvantage is that he could resurrect. Some people claim if you ultra combo him he won't resurrect, but that's not true. This all depends if his instinct is halfway or more intact. He's backed up with Stone Skin and come back with a full health bar. You could prevent a full health bar by attacking him while he's getting up. I should also mention that you get awarded with crafting materials, backstory to characters, cutscenes, and even a mimic skin for a character depending on the requirements. It also looks like there will be updates coming soon for Shadow Lords, especially in the Guardian section. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the difficulty. There's normal, challenging, and godlike. The greater the difficulty, the more rewards you get. And if you're after the Astral Plane stage, you must defeat Gargus in challenging or godlike mode. So far, after defeating Shadow Lords more than once, all the characters are available to play except for Idol. So basically everything I mentioned was the single player version of Shadow Lords. There is a multiplayer aspect, but I feel it's kinda limited in my opinion. Maybe in future updates we'll get more options. What I mean by that is that it's only a 1 versus 1 lobby in Shadow Lords multiplayer. Basically how it works is that you could use your consumables and guardians against another player. And the multiplayer aspect also gives you rewards for winning 1 match and playing up to 5 matches, I believe. This is another way to gain Astral Gems. I still wish we could have a full lobby to spectate a Shadow Lords match. Other than that, we have leaderboards. I think I covered everything in Shadow Lords. Hopefully, I didn't leave anything out. I truly enjoy Shadow Lords, and I feel like it has a great addition to Killer Instinct. Even though it has some story elements, I don't count it as a story mode. Mainly because the main characters involved in Shadow Lords is Jago, Kinmu, Tusk, Saberwolf, Fulgore, Hisako, Mira, Kanra, and Gargus obviously. These are the characters you unlock cutscenes with as well. Don't get me wrong, if you do some side missions, there are some story elements there as well. But I feel the characters I mentioned have more deep roles. That's all I have for this video. I have a club on Xbox One. If you guys are interested in joining it, it's called FranBiz Fighting Games. This is basically my community about fighting games. We can share captures and highlights on games, spar with each other, talk about games, or even do a tournament. Feel free to hop on the club. I also have another club for Gears of War. This one's called Seriously for Gears. Hence the title Gears 4 and a homage to the infamous achievement Seriously 2.0, 3.0 and so on. Seriously for Gears and FranBiz Fighting Games. Hope you like what you see, leave a like if you do, comment on any feedback regarding Killer Instinct or Shadow Lords itself, and make sure to subscribe for more content. I am out. Peace.